Read this with me. U.S. government found guilty of assassination Dr. King. Dr. King press conference credit liability. Congress print. Last Monday marked the 54th anniversary of the assassination of civil rights icon Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in Memphis, Tennessee. Every step towards freedom for the black man in this country has been measured with his blood. Although James Earl Ray was convicted in 1969 for the crime, little mention is made that 3 decades later, Memphis jury deemed the United States government guilty of conspiracy to assassinate Dr. King Jr. On December 8th, 1999, 12 juries unanimously rendered a guilty verdict after a 4-week civil trial of listening to more than 70 witness testimony. The King family, who filed the civil suit, was awarded $100, which they donated to charity. How disrespectful these Europeans is. They killed this man and was rewarded the family $100 for his life. During the trial, the government carefully interwoven plot to kill Dr. King was revealed. Lloyd Joyer said the King shot was fired from behind his Jim Grill, which was close to the Lauren Motel, whose balcony King was standing on when shot down on April 4th, 1968. It was determined that local, state, and federal U.S. government agencies and the mafia were all involved. Earl Ray reportedly was renting a room above Jeweler Restaurant then and was a scapegoat in the plot. In a press conference transcript, Joyer members named Memphis Police Department Officer L.T. Earl Clark as Dr. King assassination. According to the U.S. Justice Department, Joyers insists that a Memphis producer dealer who was involved with the mafia gave Joyer $100,000 to hire an assassin and assured him that the police would not be at the scene of the shooting. Joyer would also allege receiving the murder weapon prior to the murder from someone named Raul. There is abundant evidence of a major high-level conspiracy in the assassination of my husband, Martin Luther King Jr.'s, commented Mrs. Corella Scott King. After express gratitude to the jury and the civil court, unanimous verdict was validated our belief. I wholeheartedly applauded the verdict of the jury, and I feel that justice has been well served in deliberations. Adding this verdict is not only a great victory for my family, but also a great victory for America. It is greatly victory for truth itself. While the government at various levels has long been suspect of being deeply involved in the assassination of my husband, she noted she's thankful that the full truth of assassination has been revealed and adjudicated in the court of law.
Now.org, The Quarantine Report. I'm Amy Goodman. The FBI and New York police departments are facing new calls to finally open their records related to the assassination of Malcolm X, shot dead 56 years ago at the Audubon Ballroom in Harlem, February 21st, 1965. This comes after the release of a deathbed confession of a former undercover New York police officer who admitted to being part of a broad New York police and FBI conspiracy targeting Malcolm. In the confession, the former officer, Raymond Wood, who died last year, admitted he entrapped 2 members of Malcolm's security team in another crime, a plot to blow up the Statue of Liberty, just days before the assassination. On Saturday, Ray Wood's cousin Reggie Wood read the letter at a news conference at the Shabazz Center in Harlem.
It was my assignment to draw the two men into a felonious federal crime so that they could be arrested by the FBI and kept away from managing Malcolm X's Autobahn ballroom door security on February 21st, 1965.
In his letter, Raymond Wood also revealed he was inside the Audubon Ballroom at the time of Malcolm's assassination. At least one other undercover New York police officer, Gene Roberts, was also inside after infiltrating the security team of the Organization of Afro-American Unity, the group Malcolm founded after leaving the Nation of Islam. Both officers, Wood and Roberts, were part of the Bureau of Special Services and Investigations, or BOSSI, a secretive political intelligence unit of the NYPD nicknamed the Red Squad. Following Malcolm's assassination, police arrested 3 members of the Nation of Islam for his murder, but questions about the guilt of the men have lingered for decades. In his letter, Raymond Wood openly says one of the men, Thomas Johnson, was innocent and was arrested to, quote, protect my cover and the secrets of the FBI and the NYPD, unquote. Ray Wood's letter echoes claims in recent books by Manning Marable and Les Payne that some of Malcolm's actual assassins were never charged. In a moment, we'll be joined by Raymond Wood's cousin Reggie Wood, who released his...
This says 1,000 things. First, let's go to the fact that they weaponized the justice system against this black organization who was seeking political justice, which is supposed to be your right as an American citizen to seek political change and to have the right to your own political views, right? So because these political views went against white supremacy, they used their legal system to falsely entrap Malcolm X security while they're paying black people to portray their own people to go undercover in Malcolm X's organization, which was for the liberation of black people, right? These people participate in Malcolm X's assassination, and what do the government do? They falsely incarcerate other black people, right? Take away their lives in addition to murdering Malcolm X. This was all done by the government. The government has always been weaponized against black people. Let's be clear about that.
The documents reveal more details about the FBI's role in the murder of the 21-year-old revolutionary. Fred Hampton was killed December 4th, 1969, when Chicago police raided his apartment and shot and killed him in his own bed. Black Panther leader Mark Clark was also killed by police in that raid. Authorities initially claimed the Panthers had opened fire on the police who were there to serve a search warrant for weapons. Evidence later emerged that told a very different story. The FBI, the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, and Chicago police had conspired to assassinate Fred Hampton. Now, several hundred pages of FBI memos and reports obtained by historian and writer Aaron Leonard through a Freedom of Information Act request document that the director of the FBI's Domestic Intelligence Division, William Sullivan, and the head of the extremist section of the Domestic Intelligence Division, George Moore, both played key roles in planning the raid and the cover-up that followed. For more on what these documents say, we're joined by Flint Taylor and Jeff Haas, founding members of the People's Law Office in Chicago, who are the lead lawyers in the landmark Fred Hampton and Mark Clark civil rights case. Their new piece for Truth Out is headlined, "New Documents Suggest J. Edgar Hoover Was Involved in Fred Hampton's Murder." Jeff Haas, let's begin with you. You wrote a book about Fred.
So let's be clear. The United States government found guilty for involvement in the assassination of Martin Luther King, who was nonviolent, right? Who promoted and pushed for integration, right? The United States government was engulfed in a plot to murder Malcolm X. This is proven. the United States government also was involved in killing Fred Hampton. This is also proven, who was a 22-year-old who was feeding children, a free lunch program for children, and things like that, promote none but self-defense. So how do you not understand that the conditions that you are in America as black people, right, was strictly placed on you by white America? When anytime a black person has seeked to uplift you, your government, which you finance, has killed them. Your government has killed them. So you have to understand that this government has consistently worked against you. You have never had political freedom. You have never had the right to voice your opinion the way the white people have voiced their opinion. If you voices your opinion in a way that is opposed to white supremacy, Europeans kill you. This is why black people are in the condition that they're in. How do white people not want to accept responsibility for this? You have killed every leader, no matter what their approach have been. If it has been nonviolent, if it have been by any means necessary, or if it have been just by self-defense, you have killed those leaders. You have told us repeatedly that we are not going to be a part of America and we have to be beneath you in order to remain here. This is what white America has consistently told black America. It has consistently told you that you do not have a right to take any political stance. When will you get this through your head? When will you get the fact that the whole justice system was created in order to send you back into slavery by using the 13th Amendment? When will you get this? The reason why they spend more on policing than they do on job creation in your community. Understand, your condition is by design.